YouTube. I started a new job today. It's a approximately 1,800 square foot ranch. Never had a heat pump. It's on a crawl space. Some of the crawl space is very, very small. So what I'm going to do on this video maybe is a little different than I have been. I'm going to essentially just try to give you a update at the end of each day, and if anything notable happens during the day, I'll try to get some footage of it. But I'm going to I just finished up cutting all the holes in the floor for the supplies, so I could see what type of boots I would need to go get, and I'm getting ready to leave now and go get some stuff. This house has 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, dining room, bath, laundry room, and a fairly good sized living room. All these are outside walls we're looking at. This big window in the front. We're going to replace the windows with something a little more energy efficient. However, as you can see, we got 16 inches down to the ground here, and 9 of that is taken up by the joist in the floor. This part of the house actually bumps out. I don't know if it was an addition or it was just designed that way, but there's a beam that runs across right here that's sitting right on the ground. They poured a footer, set a beam on top of it, and then the joists go on top of it. I got back basically under my feet here. My stomach was on the dirt and my back was on the against the joist, but I can see across this beam and down through these joist bays, so I'll be able to fish a duct over to that location over there in front of that big window. I put one over here near the front entry. And then back here on the opposite side of the room, again, this is an outside wall, so I've got me one back here. We got 18 inches here. I can actually crawl all the way back to it and get to it, so that'll be good. The kitchen will have one over here by the door. It's basically 6 or 8 feet from that other one that we just saw in the living room. I'm going to have another one by this big sliding door here at the end of the kitchen cabinets. As we go down the hall, I've got to figure out, I'm going to put a thermostat on the wall, probably in this general area. I'll have to fish it up through the wall, so I'll figure that out and see what I need to do. The bathroom, got a lot of wood under this house in different places, so I had to kind of try to figure out where I could put them and make them out of the way and still fit without having to cut out joists. Then this laundry room, which has been an add-on to the back of the house, will have one on the outside wall. We have 3 bedrooms here. Center bedroom has 1 outside wall, 1 window, so I'm putting 1 vent as close to the center of the window as the wood would allow me to go. The joist underneath. Corner back bedroom, 2 windows, 2 outside walls. Gets 2 openings, 1 under each window. Front bedroom is basically just like the one we just went in, 2 windows, 2 outside walls. And it too will have 2 vents. They're going to take the baseboard heaters out at some point. They just had a panel installed last week. It was a fuse panel, so that has been upgraded. The guy went ahead and hooked up all those baseboard heaters, which the owners thought they told him not to, so I think he's going to come back and pull those out. I will have to put my breakers in this panel and get them down into the crawl space. You can see he had to cut the wall out there to get his work done, so if I had to, I should be able to pull a couple of these heater wires out and maybe open up a hole through the floor and get my wires down through there as well. Here at the end of the hall, you have a little hutch, built-in hutch with a door under it for shelves and whatnot, storage. This is going to be my return. They're going to actually, I'm going to take this door off. There will be, this will be filled in with sheetrock, and there'll be a return grill here at the end of the hall. I've cut the hole through. If you can see down there, there's a bunch of electrical wires, of course. The panel's just right behind us here, so they all were stapled to the joist. I unstapled them for about 6 feet, and I can move all of them except 2. Those 2 coming across here at a diagonal. I will have to actually cut and splice those into junction boxes in order to make room for my return. So that's about it for today. I've made a list of all the different angled boots I need, whether it be coming out the end or out the bottom or with a 90-degree. And this will all be 7-inch flex duct over to a main metal trunk duct that'll come down basically down this hallway. The unit will set right out in front of where the return goes through the floor, come in the back of it, come out the front toward me, and we'll branch off and go to each one of these supply ducts. So that's it for today. I will get some video tomorrow. Okay guys, I just finished assembling my return airdrop. I made it out of a piece of stock trunk duct. I'm going to, now that it's put together, I just tape the corners up to keep the, I missed a corner there, keep the mastic from going through. I'm going to mastic it on the outside so that I don't have any air leaks. Got two little pieces of standing S-lock down there. That's at the floor level, so when I set it down through the hole, it can rest on top of those. And I can actually screw them down to the floor too once I get it exactly where I want it. So. Okay guys, it's startup day. I just hooked up the manometer for a static pressure test. I have the P1 probe into the return, and the P2 probe is into the supply down there. And we have a total static of about 0.3. Most of it being the return, which is usually the case. It's got a 20 by 30 filter grill with a filter in it currently, because that's how they're going to be running it. So I will look at my book and set my fan tap speed accordingly. It's on medium now. I'm going to think that's probably where I'm going to have to leave it. I can probably put it on low, but I'll check and see what the readings are. The book is out in the band. Okay, here's our blower chart. We have a 3-ton unit, 36. We have a static of 0.3. If I go down to the column, you can see a medium is 1385, which is a little much. However, any scenario on low is going to be less than 1200. I assume if I put it on low, my static pressure will drop. So I could possibly wind up with about 1140, maybe 1140 to 1150. I may try it and just see. Otherwise, I'll just leave it on the medium tap. As you can see, there's no scenario where low speed gets you to 1200 CFM. And I know it's not critically important that you have 1200 CFM, probably 375 cubic feet per minute per ton is actually probably best in this area. So I may end up sticking it on the low tap and just see what happens. This is my father's supply from the unit. And as you can tell, it's really working on the shears here, so I'm getting a good airflow. I'll definitely redo my static check. They tore the kitchen out here yesterday, the homeowners, and then crimped some insulation down in one of my vents. So I had one that wasn't doing anything on the original test. But based on the amount of airflow we're getting through all these things, I can see all the curtains move. The ones that are so far back are still, you can see the curtain move on that door. We're getting plenty of air, so I'm going to put it on low speed and see what kind of performance we'll get with that. On low speed, the total static has dropped to about 0.23 or 0.24. I'm going to leave it there and start taping up my return. I've got to put a insulation blanket on the return box here, and I'm going to plug this hole and button up this piece of insulation here where I take my static, because I will take my eye manifold reading further away from the unit. I'll probably just stick it in one of the supplies upstairs. Okay guys, got the eye manifold hooked up and running. Had to recover just a touch of refrigerant. This line set's, I guess, a little shorter than they anticipated on this one. 15 foot. Cooling mode is good. I'm going to move my hose over to the heat pump port, my low side, and kick it over. Just unplug the reversing valve out here so the electric strip won't come on, and see how it does in heat pump mode. It's about 66 degrees here, so I won't run it long, but I just want to make sure it runs okay. They'll be needing it soon. Guys, I just wanted to get one last shot of the truck duct back through there. I really didn't take much video on this job. It's very tight. Kind of got back there and worked my way out. As we got out here at the unit, it had been dug out over toward the opening, which gave us plenty of room for service here. The other side's very low too. Got my openings. I actually used caulk, silicone caulk on them this time. Went ahead and put a little bit around that door. It didn't seem to be leaking, but I figured it wouldn't hurt while I was under here. Caulked around my opening at the drain line. Got my switch on. Vented it. Ran it out through the wall. Strapped it. Keep it from sagging. Got my return box insulated up. The transition. So, going to pick up tools, drag this cardboard out of here, and finish up. Okay guys, just finished up the return. I framed it in so they could drywall around it. The return itself is an actual 10 by 20 piece of trunk duct. Then I just bent it out, put me some S-lock on it, and made me an extension out here. Of course, it goes down into the plenum box down below. So they've got quite a bit of drywall work to do. I took out the old baseboard heat thermostats for them while I was here, and then they've got this electrical panel to deal with. Somebody had replaced recently, so they'll have my sheetrock guy in soon. Got the unit turned off now. I've run it up to 75 and down to 65, playing with the heat pump. So this thing is about a wrap. Okay, here's the finished product outside. Got my UV line set tape on. This is my drain. It's actually dripping a little now. Put an extra whip on just the thermostat wire just to get it inside the house so it don't get chewed up by a dog or something.